Now, Patriots, you were all here last night when we uncovered a disturbing social media post, seemingly innocent at first glance, but carrying a message so sinister it triggered an immediate Secret Service response. When a former FBI director makes a cryptic statement about the 47th president and then quickly deletes it, well, let's just say nothing happens by accident. The implications of the post, the timing, the desperate attempt to cover it up, it's all connected. And once you see what we've uncovered, you will understand why they tried so to make this disappear. Now, in times like these, when we're decoding deep state threats, mental clarity isn't just important, it's crucial. That's why I trust ageless multi-collagen. When you are investigating cryptic messages from former FBI directors, you need to be at your sharpest. It contains 5 types of collagen from 4 premium sources, blended into hydrolyzed peptides for easy absorption. No clumping, no odor, weird taste. It's non-GMO, gluten-free, and free from antibiotics and hormones. Tastes great in a smoothie. Order donates a meal to a hungry child through nokidhungry.org. But you can order yours at healthwithgary.com for 51% off and free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee, VIP health coaching, and a free ebook titled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin. Tap the link in the YouTube description. Okay, so we've got the information that James Comey, he is in hot water. He posted this picture. Oh, I just stumbled upon on the beach. Yeah, sure you did, buddy. Sure you did. Well, as you can see, there has been some fallout. Ed Krasenstein, he had the Secret Service at his house. More details in a minute. Well, we don't really care, Ed. All you do is troll, but you FAFO. Yeah, we saw your posts. We saw you playing up those numbers that James Comey was celebrating as well. So that's why you got a visit from the Secret Service. Gunter Eagleman posted FAFO. Sean Farash says, good. These guys deserve to be investigated. James Comey to be escorted by Secret Service agents to the Washington field office after 8647 post for an interview. That's according to CNN. Lots of explaining about to occur. James Comey getting Secret Service escort to the FBI. Yeah, what do you think about that? Now let's jump into Tom's report from the White House on these developments.
Message on Instagram. He wrote, "Hey guys, this is Tom McCullagh reporting from the White House with the Next News Network. And guys, today we got a serious story that's everyone talking about. James Comey. The former FBI director is in hot water after posting a cryptic message on Instagram. He wrote 8647, which many are saying was a clear call to President Trump, our 47th president. Now, Comey claims he didn't know those numbers were linked to violence. Let's be real here. This guy ran the FBI for years. You're telling me he doesn't know what 8647 or 8645 or 8644 means? It's a slap in the face to every American who supports our great president. So now, Comey, he posted a picture of some seashells with that message. But as soon as the backlash started, he deleted it. Like, poof, gone, you know. In fact, people on X didn't just delete that post, but he deleted his entire account. And I haven't verified that yet. But that's not all. President Trump isn't staying quiet about this, and he's calling Comey out for what he really is. Trump says Comey knew exactly what he was doing. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the president had to say about this dangerous stunt. Let's go ahead and check this out.
He knew exactly what that meant. A child knows what that meant. If you're the FBI director and you don't know what that meant assassination. And it says it loud and clear. Now, he wasn't very competent, but he was competent enough to know what that meant. And he did it for a reason, and he was hit so hard. Because people like me, and they like what's happening with our country. Our country has become respected again, and all this. And he's calling for the assassination of the president.
Obviously, he apologized and said he wasn't calling for violence. But
look, he's a very bad.
What do you want to see happen? What do you want to see happen?
I don't want to take a position on it because that's going to be up to Pam and all of the great people. But I will say this: I think it's a terrible thing. And when you add his history to that, if he had a clean history, he doesn't. He's a dirty cop. He's a dirty cop. And if he had a clean history, I could understand if there was a leniency, but I'm going to let them make that decision.
So what you just saw was President Trump laying out the truth, plain and simple. And he's not alone in this fight. White House is taking this very seriously, calling Comey's post a direct threat to the president's life. And they're not wrong to be worried. Trump has already survived 2 assassination attempts in 2024, one at a rally where he got shot, and one at a golf course where they had a gunman within a couple hundred meters of him. The Secret Service and the Department of Homeland Security are now investigating Comey, and they should be. He's got millions of followers. And this isn't a game. This is the safety of the leader of the free world we're talking about. So there's more stuff going on. Posts on X are buzzing with reactions, and some folks are saying Comey should be locked up. Tulsi Gabbard, our Director of National Intelligence, did not hold back. She said she's deeply concerned for Trump's life and believes Comey belongs behind bars. That's appropriate. So, Associate Deputy Attorney General Ed Martin took it even further, saying Comey's either going to lie to a jury or admit he knew what 8647 meant. And either way, he's heading for a perp trap. So that's a fancy way of saying Comey's in big trouble, guys. He might be looking at jail time, and frankly, a lot of us think that's exactly where he belongs after trying to incite violence against a sitting president. So let's step back for a second and think about this, like deep breaths. So Comey was the head of the FBI. He's supposed to protect Americans, not put our president in danger. But instead, he posts something like this and then plays dumb, saying he didn't know it was a threat. So was he just incompetent? So, I mean, come on, we're not buying it, and neither is President Trump. The president has been through enough, fighting for us every single day, making America great again, while facing attacks from all sides. And now, this? From a former FBI director trying to stir up trouble with a sneaky little post. It's disgusting. So, what's even worse is the timing. President Trump is working hard to fix this country, to bring back jobs, secure our borders, and make sure every single American feels safe. He doesn't need someone like Comey throwing fuel on the fire. The mainstream media is doing such a good job of it, and especially after everything Trump has been through. He's been shot. I mean, so the Secret Service is on high alert, and they're doing their job to keep him safe. But shouldn't Comey, of all people, know better? This isn't just a mistake. This feels like a calculated move by someone who's bitter and wants to see Trump fail. Think Crossfire Hurricane. Think all these other things these FBI guys did to set him up. Now, I know that some of you might be thinking, maybe Comey didn't really mean what it was. Maybe it was just a coincidence. But let me ask you this. If you were the head of the FBI and you saw threats like this every single day and you knew what all these things were, wouldn't you think twice before posting something that could be taken as a threat against the sitting president of the United States? I would. And of course you would. Comey's not some random guy on the street. He's a trained law enforcement official. He knew what he was doing. He ran the most a supposedly professional law enforcement agency in the world, and now he's trying to backtrack because he got caught. And that's not how it works, James. You don't get to play innocent when the stakes are this high. President Trump has the support of millions and millions and millions of Americans and tens of millions more across the world. And people who see through this nonsense. We're not going to let the radical left or washed-up bureaucrats like Comey tear down everything Trump has built, and we're trying to fix. The investigations are moving forward, and we'll be keeping a close eye on what happens next. If Comey thought he can get away with this, he's got another thing coming. Trump is stronger than ever, and he's not backing down. Not from Comey, not from anybody. And guys, that's all for now. Tom McCullagh from the White House with the Next News Network. God bless.
Thank you for filing that report for us, Tom. Now let's get into the details of the thread we posted earlier. Bombshell. Exposure of the left's assassination culture. Former FBI Director Comey caught red-handed calling for Trump's death while the fake news tries to cover it up. Meanwhile, they fabricate right-wing violence through deceptive editing. The hypocrisy is staggering. We see what we have compiled for you. Okay, so we just saw Donald Trump saying it. Even a child knows what that meant. I mean, they're calling for his assassination. Well, here's Tulsi Gabbard now confirming that Comey knew exactly what he was doing.
Director, didn't Gabbard's the director of national intelligence? Are you buying that the former FBI director didn't know what 86 Trump meant?
Absolutely not, Jesse. That is a ridiculous and insane statement to make, certainly within this context, but especially coming from a guy who's the former director of the FBI, a guy who spent most of his career prosecuting mobsters and gangsters, people who know and execute other humans and use this exact lingo of 86. Comey himself admitted in his follow-on message that he knew that this was a political statement. Well, the only reason he knew that, Jesse, was because a little over a month ago, a bunch of anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk protesters were proliferating the use of this 8647 slogan, which was a veiled call to action to murder the sitting president of the United States.
Gabbard's the director of national...
Unbelievable. Cameron Kinsley nails it. This is disgusting behavior from the former FBI director. They say Trump is a threat to democracy. They incite violence against a duly elected president who won the popular vote. The hypocrisy astronomical. Let's check in with Real America's Voice.
Give me your quick take. I have you. Before I let you go, I want to ask you just one quick thing. James Comey today tells us that he stumbles upon seashells that just happen to be laying on the beach in the form of 8647 as in 8647. And then he tells us that he doesn't know that 86 stands for to eliminate or to get rid of. Give me your quick take on the former FBI director today.
Well, I think this is just disgusting behavior, and I'm glad that accountability is coming. We've already seen Tulsi Gabbard come out and say that, calling for his arrest, but this is what they do. They say that Trump is a threat to democracy when they're going out and inciting violence against a duly elected president who won by the popular vote. It's disgusting behavior, and I'm thankful that we have this administration, people like Kash Patel, people like Tulsi Gabbard who have already seen it and they're on it.
I have you. Before I let you go, I want to ask you just one quick thing. James Comey today.
Alex Jones, he nails it. The cultural inflection point is here. Comey's public call to action has backfired spectacularly.
A massive political... Ladies and gentlemen, Comey's public call to action to kill Trump has blown up in their face and has triggered a massive political cultural inflection point as big as when they failed to kill Trump in Butler, because it brings all of that back, and then people remember how it was Comey and the FBI covering it up, the Secret Service standing down, how the FBI tried to suppress what happened in Mar-a-Lago with the other killer, all the coup attempts politically by Comey, all the deep state tricks, all of the lawfare indictments, and Trump's doing a great job, and everybody sees us winning the trade war and $4 trillion more investment just this week, $10 trillion plus total, and the board and the globalists tried to crash the stock market, and that failed. So people know Trump's working for them. They know they stole the 2020 election. They know Trump fought back with us to win, and now they're calling for his death, and people see through it. It's criminal. This is the former FBI director with his long history of being at war with Trump saying 80-16, which means sink him or kill him. Ladies and
CNN gaslighting America again. It's not clear that this is what it really is. Give me a break.
He was walking along. This is we put up the post from Jim Comey. He says he was walking along a beach and he saw shells that were arranged like this, 8647. Now, 86 or 47 refers to, presumably, he says, political message about President Trump, who's the 47th president of the United States, and 86 colloquially could be used to be a term that says remove or rid of, right? Now, people on the right, the president's supporters, have taken this to mean that this was a threat, a direct threat to the president of the United States, an assassination threat. Obviously, the president has had 2 assassination threats, so people take these types of things very seriously. Kristi Noem says that it's now under investigation. You see other people, including Tommy Tuberville, saying this is a very serious matter. It's not clear that this is what really this is, right? Jim Comey did respond to us. We reached out to him, and he referred us to a replacement post he put on social media in which he says, I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down. And so now the question is, what does this become? Is this a real investigation? Clearly, he's saying that there was no threat, so that usually is the end of the story. But we don't live in times right now. This is we put up the post.
Laura Ingraham destroys Comey's absurd excuse. A shell formation I just came across? He also meant Sasquatch on the beach. Listen.
Hello, Laura.
Does James Comey's explanation of this pass any straight face test? A shell formation, which is a threat to Donald Trump's life, is just something he came across on the beach.
Yeah, of course he did. He also came across the abominable snowman and Sasquatch while he was walking along on the beach. Listen, this guy, James Comey's been a problem since day one. He likes to talk about how Trump is unethical, immoral, a threat to the United States. Yeah, how about the former director of the FBI has got nothing better to do than put shells in a formation that says 8647, and then he claims, well, I just happened to find this, and you want to talk about this guy's mental cognition? Let's compare him to Joe Biden. Are you kidding me? This is just more of the same from, 120 or so days ago. This guy's trying to stay relevant. He's a complete zero, and this latest episode just shows what a complete clown show he is and the FBI is. And now the Secret Service is going to say, well, we're going to investigate. Are you kidding me? The Secret Service is no better now than it was when it had those last two directors. These guys can't get out of their own way. The FBI is a complete disgrace still. Kash Patel, Danny Bongino, Sean Curran over the service need to clean house and get it done now. And I hope Pam Bondi and her people go after this guy with everything that he's worth. You're the former director of the FBI, the president of the United States, who, by the way, was rightly elected, is out of the country in the Middle East, no less, talking to one of our greatest threats, the Iranians, the Qataris, and you go and you pull a stunt like this? How juvenile. This is high school, but you know what? This guy needs to be prosecuted. This has got to stop.
Yeah, well, and this is after we still...
And when is it going to stop? MSNBC fantasizing about putting Trump in jail while ignoring Comey's direct threat. The same people who screamed about democracy dying are now openly discussing how to imprison the people's choice for president. Their bloodlust is undeniable.
Jail? So a lot of people have suggested that there are a range of factors that would make it difficult to put the system has not been tested in this way. Do you agree with that it would be difficult or nearly impossible for the law enforcement institutions to put him in actual jail?
No, they would just put him in a double wide somewhere out near the fence, out in the grass. And he would eat there, he'd shower there, he'd exercise there, he'd be away, as Danya Perry said, from general population. Obviously doable.
So a lot of people have suggested that there are...
fantasizing about what it would look like with Trump in prison. The smoking gun, the left's own words calling for violence. Who can ever forget these words?
That I thought I'd be ready to throw a punch. Well, you have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
I feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. No, I wish we were in high school, I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
We're going to go in there, we're going to...
This is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be? Does one of us have to come out alive? I'd be ready to throw a punch.
And they laugh. Giddy. Meanwhile, the mainstream media uses deceptive editing and out-of-context clips to paint the right as violent. They twist innocent words about elections and defense into Civil War talk, the propaganda machine working overtime to create the false narrative, and we are deconstructing it here.
In MAGA, Now to a burst of violent threats and extremist rhetoric on the right, laced with talk about guns and civil war. It is the kind of language national security officials have warned could have real consequences. It is coming from some of the most prominent figures in MAGA. GOP Congressman Louis Gohmert, an election denier, answering questions about a so-called Second Amendment solution at a right-wing conference just this week.
I was there on the 6th, and thank you for fighting for all of us, man. Was there more we could have done?
Yeah, there's a lot more, but it needs a lot more people doing it than just a handful of us.
Keep fighting for
us. They so.
And are we getting towards like Second Amendment solutions at some point? It's going to keep happening, or are we going to fix it? You think we are?
Well, I'm still in it because I think we can.
Can't tell if I'm dizzy from the camera angle or content. Another sitting Republican congressman telling a conservative crowd that he hopes there isn't a civil war before musing about which side would win.
I think we have an opportunity in the next 4 to 6 years to prevent kinetic American forces, countrymen on countrymen, from ever meeting. Although I have no doubt that we'd be victorious if that ever happened. It's time for us to stop being sheep, stand up and be lions. Let's make these people be... The radical left should be terrified of who we are. The radical left should be terrified of what we are going to do.
These are the messages we are now hearing from MAGA leaders. In the months before the January 6th riot, the FBI was warning that baseless claims about election fraud were, quote, likely to embolden U.S. domestic violent extremists. Again, that was before the insurrection. Now we are seeing talk of a civil war and the celebration of firearms. 2 other GOP lawmakers releasing Christmas cards glorifying guns, and MAGA crowds responding. Kyle Rittenhouse, greeted as a hero at a conservative conference. He brought a firearm to a BLM protest and killed 2 people. He was acquitted for murder, and that earns him rock star treatment. At the same conference, a Fox News host talked about how to interview Dr. Fauci on the street and veered quickly into violent imagery.
You got to ambush a guy like Fauci, okay? This is how you do these ambushes. Do you mind, Dr. Fauci, if I ask you a few questions? Now you're going for the kill shot. The kill shot with an ambush, deadly, because he doesn't see it coming. Boom! He is dead! He is dead!
We have seen how talk can spiral into action. So where exactly does the...
Yeah. Talking about ambushing him with questions, not bullets. That's how the left spins it. The left's violent playbook exposed for all to see, and they openly call for violence against Trump while inventing fake right-wing threats. Comey's 8647 post proves what we've said for years. They want Trump eliminated by any means necessary. So what we've uncovered here isn't just about a social media post. It's about a pattern of behavior that goes straight to the heart of the deep state. When a former FBI director thinks he can send coded messages without consequences, tells you everything about the state of our intelligence agencies. The question we need to ask ourselves is this: how many other signals have we missed? What other messages are being sent right out from under our noses? Share your theories in the comments below, and make sure you check out the Next News Network merch shop. It's linked down in the YouTube description for the latest gear.